Hey, welcome back to the PFC Profit for Contractors podcast, the only no bullshit podcast for contractors.
Ka-boom.
Now, there's no bull here. I should get a set of horns, right? We're here again with my man Gaetan. He was on the last episode. If you haven't watched that last one, listen, go ahead. I'll put this one on hold. I'll leave the link in the description to this video down below. But before you do that, just make sure you like or subscribe, hit the ding ding notifier bell thing, whatever the hell that's called, okay? Let's get into this already. For fuck's sake. Today, we are talking about pricing, the top 3 insights on your financials. And yes, if you don't have these, you're driving your business blind. It's just like the title says, right? You can say it's the top 3 financial insights or some sort of irresistible title that's the marketing geeks call clickbait, but you can blame this on my marketing team. I just make the videos, okay? All right, here we go, rock stars. Enjoy. Boom. Until right now, this very moment, contractors have always been on their own, not as tradespeople, but being alone and knowing how to take their business to the next level. They call us working class, they call us blue collar. They say that we don't have the smarts to become the business owner that we're meant to be. That is such bullshit. You have the ability. You're more than any of that. The question really is, where do you get the insights that you need specific to contracting to systemize your business so you can get your profits to pay for your freedom? I'm Andrew Houston. I'm going to show you how to make more profits, how to get more control, how to get more freedom in the simplest, quickest way possible without any of that bullshit. Welcome to the No Bullshit Podcast for Contractors. Listen up, level up, and if you learn something, like the video, subscribe to the channel, change your business, change your life. Hey everybody, welcome to another podcast with the No Bullshit Podcast for Contractors. I got my man here, Gaetan, a repeat offender, repeat guest. And, last time we talked about the mindset shift from, the old way to the new way, and really having a willingness to get help and, so that you can look at things differently, right? Today we're going to be talking about the importance of understanding your financials. And that if you don't learn these insights, right, these top 3 insights on your financials, you're going to be driving your business blind. So let's get into it. So welcome, Gaetan. Welcome again.
Welcome again.
Long time no see.
Jeez, it's been ages.
So, dude, let's get into this. When we first started, one of the very first things that we do with a contractor, that becomes part of the PFC family, one of the very first things that we do is ask them for their financials, right? And then we do an assessment and see how well the owner understands their financials. So if you spun the clock back, and I remember how long it took us to get the financials in the way that we needed them to read them. That was a concern to begin with.
Yep.
Where would you say that your understanding or mindset was regarding financials? How did it go? Was it like, got to go see the accountant this, once a year type of thing?
Yeah, well, that's it. I didn't know anything. At the beginning was, you work, you start your fiscal year, so we just work. Money was coming in, coming out. Didn't have any idea if we were making any money. The only thing is, I'm looking at my bank statement, and we still have money in that statement, so no problem. We'll just continue. There's no minus. It's always plus, plus, plus. Right. So I guess we're making money. So yeah, we were making money. Yeah. And when you were asking where are you at right now with your financials, I don't know. Why are you asking that question? I still have 6 months to go.
Exactly. It's funny you say, hey, I'm making money, right? I'll never forget the one year we looked at your financials, and I'm referencing what we talked about at the last podcast, where you were like, I got money in the bank. I'm like, dude, you've got $10,000 after a whole year's worth of busting your ass. You got $10,000. Yeah, but at least I'm positive.
Yep.
I'm like, but Gaetan, dude, you did $2 million worth of work. You had this many guys and this many trucks, and all you've got to show for it is 10 grand. And I remember you looking at me like you were questioning whether or not you should be upset with me. Like, who the fuck are you to be saying that to me?
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Well, of course. I was saying, what do you know? Well, what do you know? I didn't know you that much. And
That's
I was
right.
saying, I didn't understand your question.
Yes.
Because, we're not in the negative, we're in the positive. So I was confused why you were asking that question.
Right. It's interesting, everybody listening in. You know, what are you okay with? Right? Mm-hmm. You see, this is, again, I'm not trying to preach this and say, hey, man, you know, maybe a bit to get you guys help, because I know we can help you if you're in the right mindset. But whether it's us or somebody else, I got to tell you this. Too many contractors. Okay, we're going to get into understanding your financials, some of the key top 3 things you got to get out of your financials. But too many times, you're just okay with being okay. That you were at that stage, you were okay with $10K after doing $2 million worth of sales.
Yep.
But I think that's also was taught to you, was like, hey man, so long as you got money in the bank, then you're good.
That's it. I have my salary. I got money in the bank.
Right. That's it. We're good. That's a business, right?
Yep. That's a business.
And I said, okay, Gaetan, what happens if somebody doesn't pay you? Some of your jobs are over 10K, and you were like,
oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
What happens if? What happens if? What happens if? You were like, oh shit. Yeah. Gaetan, in no time at all, that money that's in the bank could be gone.
Yeah. I don't believe it, but yeah.
Right. Because you got away with it.
Yeah.
It's like, and everybody listening in, too many times we get away with shit. And getting away with stuff, the problem with getting away with it is you get away with it, so what? You keep on doing the same fucking thing. Mm-hmm. Okay? That's a problem. Okay?
Yeah, I think now that you're talking, I think what happens is in my head, well, my father started in 74, so the business is stable. I thought I had good customers because those customers were around for ages. So
my dad dealt with them, so they must be good. They're all good, right? So everybody's good. Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why I say let's go into business.
Totally.
I didn't saw it that way at all.
Exactly. So I never forget. So a couple of dashboard items, guys. We're not going to get into the balance sheet and all this stuff, but I'm going to talk about 2 really important documents. They're not the only ones, but 2 really important ones. One was accounts receivable. Yes. And the other one was the profit and loss statement. Okay? So right away, I had the bookkeeper start working on putting a P&L statement together, which, by the way, took way too long.
Yeah, because the right questions.
That's correct.
Was there, but the way our system was conducted, it wasn't ready to answer your question. Any questions.
Well, and the problem is, everybody listening in, here's a little tip. Okay, not to get too crazy deep with this, but on your profit and loss statement, too many accountants and bookkeepers put the wrong freaking expenses, drives me nuts, into the wrong place.
Yep. And that's what happened.
And that's what happened. And if they put the numbers in the wrong place, when we get to some of these areas that you've got to calculate, you will not get the right information. And if you don't get the right information, then you're making the wrong decisions with wrong information. Correct?
Correct.
Okay. So the accounts receivable. Guys, everybody listening in, this is number 1 tip. You want to find out right away. Okay, this is so quick win for you. Print out your goddamn accounts receivable report, like Gaetan did with me. Yep. And I never forget sitting there, and I grabbed this accounts receivable report, and I hold it up. I said, so I'm going to ask you a few more questions. And this was Gaetan. Oh my God, more questions.
Yeah.
So, sometimes I think, family members of PFC, they must feel like they're on the stand, like the lights are turned out, the shining light is on them. It's like the FBI is like, okay, I have one more question. I have one, right? But you need to do that. Otherwise, you're not going to get the right answers to make the right decisions, okay?
Yep.
So I'm holding up this accounts receivable report. I said, Gaetan, tell me some of your top clients. Who would you say, if a Class A client, write this down if you're listening, Class A client means awesome, okay? I'm not going to get into what that is yet. But in the minds of Gaetan, he knows what awesome is in his own definition. I go, Class B is like a basic person. They're okay to deal with. Yep. And we just call that okay, or basic. Class C is can't deal with. And the Class Ds are deadbeats. Like, get rid of them. Now, I didn't tell him what these meant, but I just said that. I said, can you give me a couple of your Class A's?
Well, back then I was just saying, it was hard for me to filter them.
Yeah, but wait, though, you gave me a few names.
Yeah, I did.
Where were they on the accounts receivable?
everywhere.
Yes.
They were not in the top.
Right. So, well, they were not in the top in being good. They were in the top in being bad.
That's it.
They owed you the most amount of money.
That's
I said,
it.
why? How do you consider these people to be Class A clients? Awesome. And you said, well, they're really nice to work for.
Yep.
I said, you know why? Do you remember? I say, because they're using you as a
guinea pig.
as a bank.
The bank, yeah.
He's like, what? I go, dude, these people owe you a shitload of money.
Yep.
They are using you as a bank.
Yep.
And you were like, yeah, but my dad's been, using them, working with them.
For ages. And,
and they've been a bank for...
Yeah, I remember. It was like yesterday. I said, they'll end up to pay. I know them because they've been with us for ages, but now today I could say I understand because we were their bank.
Yes, everybody listening in. And what if that company went under? Where you had hundreds of thousands of dollars. Back to that original thing we talked about in the beginning. Yep. Yeah, but I got 10K in the bank. If one of those had defaulted,
that's it.
That would have been it. Okay?
Yep.
So everybody listening in, grab your accounts receivable. Okay? Back to financials. Yes, your accounts receivable is part of financials. Grab your accounts receivable. Okay? Before you do it and print it out, I want you to write down as many of the clients that you know. Let's just keep it simple. Write down 5 Class A's, 5 Class B's, 5 Class C's, 5 Class D's, and then I want you to look at your accounts receivable and see, are they really in the right order? Just from that's only one criteria. Yep. There's like 8 criteria is how we rate clients with the client rating matrix, right?
Yep.
Okay. Today we're only going to just touch on that one. So that's one thing on financials. Okay. Accounts receivable. Did we fire a bunch of clients? Gaetan?
Yes. A bunch.
What are some of the other characteristics of Class D and Class C can't deal with clients? What else what were they also always?
They're the one that calls more. They were spending more of my time. They were always complaining on little stuff. They were
never satisfied.
Never. Always complaining.
Yeah.
Always.
Not just to you though.
Oh,
what about the crews?
The same thing with the crews.
And they hated them.
Yep.
Like the crews hated to work for these people. True.
Yeah, that's true. But we were seeing volume because there was a sort of a volume.
Well, okay. Another. I know we maybe could have covered this on the previous one, being mindset, but everybody understand. Fuck volume.
Yep.
Okay. I will say that, and Gaetan knows this. Okay, Gaetan went from $2 million. Okay, 1 year. I'm not going to say the current year because it's unbelievable. But he went from just a year ago. He went from $2 million to $2.6 million. At $2 million, guys, he made $10,000 net. At $2.6 million, not that much increase, right, in sales. Okay, we actually got rid of a shitload of fucking Class D's. We got away from track home builders and a whole bunch of that stuff, right?
Yep.
Okay, which was all volume, right? Oh, more sales. Yep. I said, no, man, more profits.
Yep.
And he went to $2.6 million, guys, at almost, I think it's $468 or almost $500,000 net profit. True? Is that true story?
That's a true story. You got it.
Okay. What was your father's reaction?
My father and my accountant, they both said the French word.
Tabernacle, right? But they were also like, what the hell are you doing? And what did you tell them what you're doing? Well,
with proper systems, proper teams, and the way we can work.
Right, clients.
Yeah, clients, Class A's, B's.
Right, got rid of the C's and D's, fired them.
Yeah,
send them to the competition.
The D's are out, C they're out, and B's, well, it's okay.
Well, here's the thing, guys. It's okay they have B's.
Yeah.
Okay, so long as the B's are moving towards becoming an A.
That's it.
If the B is moving towards a C, can't deal with, you get rid of them. Okay,
yep.
But it's our responsibility to help them move. Right.
That's it.
True.
Exactly, and work with them, and you can see if they're willing, if they're ignoring you, that they can't take their time with you sometimes just to sit, or when you're talking with them, engage with them. If they don't want to take the time, then you know that they're going to see it.
Absolutely.
You're just a number.
Absolutely.
But if they want to work with you, that means we're moving forward.
Right. Okay. So let's come back to the financials. So profit and loss statement. We finally get this profit and loss statement. We finally get it in the right order. Okay. And one of the things I said to Gaetan was this. So everybody listen in. This is the first step. Well, I guess maybe this is maybe a little extra one, because the first one is you need to get your financials in the right order with the right data so you can use them. Okay, that I think is a no-brainer. I won't count that as one. That's a freebie. Okay, well, these are all freebies, but so part of the 3 principles. Okay, one of the key principles was when I asked this question, Gaetan, how often do you look at your profit and loss statement? And what did you say?
Once a year.
Once a year. So Gaetan, I'm just going to ask you a quick question. I said, if we were playing a game of sports, just a fun game, pickup game, and we're playing hockey, right? Everybody knows I'm Canadian, okay? We love our hockey. And I go, how often would we look at the scoreboard?
I would say each minute, 2 minutes.
Yes,
Minute.
all the time, all the time, right? The players are looking at it, the people in the audience are looking at it. I'm like, why do they look at it all the time? And what'd you say?
I don't know, in case there's something that changes.
Well, why? You do know, actually. Because if something changes, does that change the game?
Of course.
Yes. If it's tied and it's the end of the 3rd period, do they change up the players?
Oh, yeah.
Why?
To have better results?
Yes, because there's people that are really good under pressure.
That's it.
And if there's a shootout, some fucking guys are really good at putting the puck in a shootout. They might be not as good on the ice, but come shootout time, they can put the fucking puck in the net.
Oh, yeah.
Do we put them on the ice? Well, yeah. How do we know? We look at the scoreboard. Is it true?
That's true.
Okay, but isn't it funny? You weren't doing that, and a lot of you guys listening, and you do not do that with your business.
Yeah.
Does that make any sense?
No.
So we starting to teach you how to read it. So this is the first principle, okay? Outside of it being in the right order, you've got to be looking at the scoreboard frequently enough so you can make the right decisions while the game is playing.
That's it.
Because if it's the end of the 3rd period,
Too late.
It's too late. So everybody, that's the first principle. If you are not looking at your numbers frequently enough, if your accountant says, man, we only sit down once a year, then fucking get a new accountant or a new bookkeeper, okay? Or give us a ring, click on the link below. We'll show you guys how to look at your financials, complimentary. If you got the right mindset, right attitude, being respectful to my team, great. If not, well, guess what? Say goodbye to Class C's and D's, right? So reading your financials at the right increments is super critical. Let's look at a couple other pieces. There's a couple of key pieces of data in there. One is your gross profit, and the other one is your net profit. Okay? The very first one that we look at is your net profit. Correct?
Correct.
Okay. Let me tell you guys quickly why. You look at the bottom of your financials, and then you work your way up to the top. What are you talking about, Andrew? You read something from the top to the bottom, not your financials. You're like, my account, nobody's taught me that. Well, that's good. That's why you're listening, right, Gaetan?
Yeah, that's right.
And you look at the bottom so that you know what kind of story you're reading. Is it a bad story? Is it an okay story? Or is it good or great story, correct?
Correct.
Because does that help us look for things in the numbers?
Yes, it did.
Like what kind of things?
Well, this is where we could see if we could do better numbers, if we could increase and make more money.
Yeah, totally.
Or if it's the opposite.
Yes.
Well, now's the time to change before it's too late.
Exactly. So were we able to look at your numbers and go, okay, where are there potential leaks in profit? And one of the areas right away was comparing your quote to what actually was going on in the field, called back costing.
Yep.
Now, what was some of the things we uncovered? Was what you quoted what happened always in the field?
It's not always the same thing there. We could estimate, I would say in my case, 10 bags, but on site they were taking 11, 12 bags. Okay, why 2 bags more?
Mm-hmm. Actually, there was one employee where it was like a lot more.
Oh, yeah. A lot.
Let's just say the bags had legs.
Yeah.
They started walking. And by the way, I think the majority of people aren't like that. But again, once we started analyzing it, did we not find out that there were certain crews Remember the time we compared two exact same homes?
Yep.
And were the numbers completely different?
Totally different. Like, we're not talking a couple of $20. We were talking about hundreds.
Yep.
So what the hell? Same house, same model.
Same house,
Same thing.
one more installation, one less. One more hours, other one less. By the way, everybody, it was the same day. It was the same week. It was the same freaking location. It was the same style of home, true?
Yeah, same temperature too.
Same temperature. Yeah, for installation, it's huge. Okay,
Yep.
I know. This week has been perfect for you guys with our hunting lodge because the weather's nice and warm, right?
That's right.
So everybody understand, right? When you're looking at your financials, you need to know where to look, and one of the places to look is where there's leaks in profit. Okay, and your gross profit is going to tell you. You know, from a job location, job being done perspective, it's the beginning, outer layer of how much money you're making on the jobs or how much money you're losing on the jobs that you're doing.
Yeah.
And we started breaking those down into bite-sized pieces. Okay? If you have any crews right now, and you don't have to have massive teams. Okay, when we started with Gaetan, it was small teams, right? Like there was like 4 or 5 guys. Now it's growing and growing, but you want to compare an apple to an apple, right? So when when that opportunity happened, we created it actually.
Yep.
You need to compare the teams and the crews.
Yep.
Correct?
Correct.
So understanding your numbers, understanding your gross profit is huge. Okay. Next thing, understanding your net profit, your expenses, right?
That's right.
Right. Where are the expenses all over the place?
Yes. At the beginning.
In the beginning.
Yep.
Correct?
Correct.
Or like when we looked at your expenses, what were some of the things that, let's look at inventory. You didn't even have a grip on the inventory. We didn't truly know how much material we had, did we?
Didn't have that. No clue. We were just saying, oh, I'll just bring some in. And if I see with my own eyes, oh, it looks low, let's bring some more. Why?
What's the problem with that?
Well, sometimes you could overstock for nothing. Or if it's going too fast, I mean, okay, why is it going too fast? So like you were saying, sometimes they have some legs. So
that's right.
This is not a good sign.
Correct.
So
another little piece to the puzzle here, everybody, because inventory is a huge expense. Right, for a lot of contractors, inventory, it gets wasted, it gets thrown away. Right, we needed to know the inventory of the trucks, did we not?
Yep.
What tools are on the trucks?
Oh, especially the tools.
Yes.
Ladders or small little things. Sometimes they're not back in the truck after the end of the day. Right. Trying to track that down. Where is it? Where is it?
Exactly. Nobody knows, right?
No, of course not.
So we assigned material. We assigned equipment to
the truck.
To the truck.
We have the checking list to make sure everything's there.
Perfect.
And we tell the guys just take like what sometimes they smoke. Well, okay, take your smoke, take your checklist, and just check before you leave.
Yeah.
Especially if we leave Caliboogie and it's a ladder still over there.
Totally. Well, again, with the smoking, it's like, hey, that's only during break time.
Yeah.
Right.
That's it. Yeah.
Right. Because by the way, one of those crews that we had, they were all smokers.
Yeah.
And there was guys taking a shitload of breaks. And when the lead hand was out having to smoke, everybody else was just standing around doing nothing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, guys, your financials.
Yep.
Number one, you got to be looking at them on a frequent enough basis. Number two, you got to be looking at your gross profit, and you got to be looking at your net profit. On the gross profit side, make sure you leverage that to make sure that your jobs are being done properly.
Yep.
Okay. In comparing your crews, making sure that job to job, an apple to an apple, you should get basically the same thing, not different, right?
Yeah.
And as well, comparing it to your quotes. There's lots of other deeper areas. On the net profit side, on the expenses, right, we're looking at, say he's storing material and inventory and things of that nature. It's critical to know, guys, what your inventory is, okay? Also, one last little thing that we did on there was we had you forecast how much work you have. Yeah. That way you, right?
Yeah, understanding when's your hay season and
yes,
yeah.
Right, and we leverage that to get better pricing.
Yes, this is the most critical thing. At least when you know your hay season's there, well, you know it's time to go up and bring your margins up, and there you go.
So, guys, understand this. We were able to predict when hay season was for him. Okay,
because I always thought it was summer.
Totally.
And it wasn't.
So isn't this interesting? Just before the peak happened is when we got Gaetan to go negotiate. Why? It was still considered the slower period of time. When do manufacturers want to give you the best deal? During the slower period of time, because they need more material sold. So we bought it, then we what? Then we sold it during hay season.
There you go. And we were making the money.
Almost doubled.
Oh, easy.
Everybody, this is huge. So, Gaetan, what are some of the other things? Like, let's talk about, the importance of, making sure that from a default calendar perspective, that everybody knows where they're going and and where they're at.
Default calendars, well, at least it keeps you straight on what you're doing, because time flies like unbelievable. So if you don't default it, it will never come.
Right.
So might as well put it there, default it. If there's a curveball, of course, curveball's happening.
Yeah.
So it's easy, click and drag, just at least it's creative.
Use Google, right? You use Google, super simple. So default when you're going to do quotes, default when the guys need to meet at the shop, default your success guys. So that's what we're going to wrap this up with. So everybody listening in, know your numbers. Don't accept what everybody else tells you, right? Like, just because the accounts is once a year, don't let that be acceptable. Don't let your bookkeeper say, oh, that's going to be a pain in the butt. Oh, that's going to take me more time. Guys, if you do not know your numbers, if you're not leveraging your numbers, then guess what? You're driving your vehicle blind.
That's it. And you can't risk that.
And you can't risk that, okay? Any last advice regarding financials? If somebody's like, well, I don't know, can I learn it? I don't think I can. What would you say to somebody that's like, I don't know if I should do that?
I would say, well, go get extra help, because it's very, very important. And you'll probably be able to do it, like if you have the proper system at your place, like the proper software. You just ask your bookkeeper, where do I click if I want to know this?
Right.
Well, just do this. That's it. So at least I don't have
Now,
to.
here's the thing. Would you recommend that they have a chat with us?
Of course.
Why?
Well, you got the tools, and you got you hear us, and you hear it frequently, so you know how to share the experience.
See, this is it, everybody. If your bookkeeper has not already sat down with you to get you to do this stuff, and you're listening in on this call, no offense, whether it's your wife or a partner or whatever, I'm not bashing them, but it means that they haven't had the knowledge to do it with you. So they're probably not the right person. Okay? Engage, click the link below, get some help, get the right insights you need so you can ask yourself the right questions, and as well be able to qualify whether or not you got the right people helping you as far as professionals being your bookkeeper and accountant. Because if you don't have those people, the right people in your corner for that, you are literally driving your business blind, because financials are the language of your business to know exactly where you're at, where you're going, and where you need to focus. So thank you again, Gaetan. Pleasure, my man.
Thanks.
You learned it, you applied it, and you got amazing results, right?
Yeah, and now I'm finally enjoying it.
See, you got your passion back in the business, right?
Very much, yes.
Okay, I love it. All right, guys, catch you on the flip. Like us below. Share this if you like us, and we'll see you guys on the flip side. Ciao. Hey, thanks again for watching the podcast. You're loving this podcast. You guys talk about it nonstop, and I'm prepared to bring you more. One more episode with my man Gaetan coming up here this Friday, December the 4th, 11 a.m. EST or EDT. I just want to say, I'm so happy to have you amazing people watching this podcast. I realize that some of this stuff can be hard to digest, but it's here to help you. And if you disagree with anything, that's cool. Just make sure to leave a comment down below. If you want to get some extra help, type PFC Rocks in the comment section, or you can actually contact us directly, right? There's a link in the description if you want to book in a one-to-one call with us, okay? Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the notification belly so you can hear the little ding on your phone and know that we just released a sweet baby podcast.
You'll sound like music to your ears.
Fair pros.
Anywho, this is Andrew Houston from Profit for Contractors. I'll catch you on that flip side. Peace.